One last point about the Giants hire here, because I've talked about this from time to time, and I've always been sensitive to it. This isn't something that just happened the day I woke up and realized, holy shit, I'm 60. There is an ageism issue in the NFL. You hear people say periodically it's a young man's game. Teams want young coaches, and that violates state and federal law to make age a factor in your hiring decisions. Kudos to the Giants for not blinking once at the idea that they're hiring a 63-year-old head coach. They just want to win. Yeah, you may not have him for 20 years. So what? Yeah, he may not be the same age as the players and easier to reach the players like a lot of coaches are who come straight in, age 32, 33, 34, 35. So what? This is a proven winner. It's in the best interest of the team. And however long John Harbaugh lasts as head coach of the New York Giants, we know how long he lasted as head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. However long he lasts as head coach of the New York Giants, so be it. So I credit them for just going out and getting the best coach that they could. And the fact that the Giants were the obvious candidate for Harbaugh from the get-go, it shows you that, and we've debated in the past relative one to the other, which job's better than the other. It shows you the Giants' job was the best one. And it shows you that John Harbaugh was the best candidate. And now that that's done, some of these other jobs can start filling up.
Yeah, now we'll see. It's going to be interesting, and you're right. I mean, we discussed this a lot, but like we talked about last week, and we kind of put a little pecking order. The Giants, when you talk about starting a team, have all the key pieces. They have everything there. And that's where, and I think a lot of teams want the young whippersnapper, like offensive guy, defensive guy who, like you said, they can be there for a long time. But this is a guy that is established, knows how things are done, and the Giants are burned by trying the new guy or the guy that's never been the head coach before. And I think that was fairly obvious, and I was calling for it when they fired Brian Daboll. I was literally going, I hope they don't try to hire first-time head coach. They need a guy that's been there and done that. And so screw age and all that, and 63 is young. And I didn't know. You think there's an ageism problem in the NFL? I don't.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, at various levels. Front offices, scouts, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Anytime somebody who's with a team says it's a young man's game, yes.
Well,
yes.
I mean, come on. We know that. That's been around for 55 years. So back then, did they have ageisms too? That phrase has been around forever. Like, what are you talking about?
I know.
It didn't
but
become more popular
when you're making hiring decisions,
right?
When you're making hiring decisions, that's not something you should be saying. It's not something you should be thinking. I'm telling you, you're dealing with a guy who was a lawyer for 19 years.
I get it.
There's certain things you just have to submit to me on. You got to submit to me on this one, Chris. There is an ageism problem in the NFL. I've been tracking it for 25 freaking years.
Yeah, it's kind of a given. Like it's a young man's game. You kind of know that. I don't know what you're getting so angry about. You got to see a psychologist
I'm not getting
again.
Angry.
But regardless,
yes.
But regardless,
maybe the fact that I need to see a psychologist is I've been dealing with you for 9 years.
I mean, maybe you're right. But either way, like the ageism problem. Listen, it's fair to say it. I mean, we got a guy that was in the 70s who got special teams coordinators to be an offensive coordinator. We just saw Pete Carroll coach a disaster, out of touch, period. Like, so it's fair to say when people get that old to go, they're not as sharp as they were at 48. Like, are we all going to be that sensitive and like, duh, no, of course you're not. I know 70-year-olds and they're not as sharp as the sharp 48-year-olds. Deal with it. I don't know what there is out there.
I can read the federal law to you word for word.
I know the federal law. I'm talking about have some common sense, though. We know that. Like,
I understand.
Yeah.
Look, I understand. And nobody's ever going to do anything about it. I mean, look at what it got Brian Flores. I'm surprised he's still coaching in the NFL whatsoever because he dared to stand up to Big Shield and acknowledge a racial problem that's been there forever, which I'm sure you won't deny when it comes to coaches. There's been a clear racial bias for years
won't deny that
to some extent is still there for some owners.
Sure.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. The other teams that were involved, see, when we have an issue, we just work through it and we keep going.
Well, it wasn't an issue. I don't even get all that mad. I get mad that you get all pissy at me out of nowhere all of a sudden, and I'm just like, wow. So then you get me pissy for a minute.
You never know what's going to come from. It makes it interesting.
I know. You're right.
That's good.
You're like, damn it, you got that Italian temper, just like my wife that could just snap in a second. And I'm like, what? What did I say? Hold on.
But the thing is, you can put it back in the box as quickly as it came out. That's a lot of the Italians that I am related to and deal with. Once it's out, you just kind of got to leave for a while and let it calm down on its own.
Simmer a little bit. Yeah.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.